My name is Wardee Harmon, and I'm the lead teacher and owner of TraditionalCookingSchool.com. I'm also the author of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Fermenting Foods, and my specialty is traditional cooking, as the name suggests. I love everything about traditional cooking. The process is beautiful, the results are amazing, and you can't beat the nutrition because traditional methods like sourdough and culturing dairy make foods more nutritious and digestible. And my family and so many others have benefited nutritionally from adding these methods into our kitchens. And I want to welcome everyone who's popping on. Hi, Kimmy, I see you just popped on. Hello to everyone else. If you are new to my scope, if you would just type a 1 in the comments so I can acknowledge you. And if you've been here before, this is scope number 3. So if you've been to 1 or 2, you're in special company. Type a 2 in the comments. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. And hi to my daughter. She's checking in here. Hi, sweetie. So Meg, yes, you've been here before too. It's hard for me to see this far away. Melissa is a 1. NBC 99705 is a 1. Stacy, you've made all of them. Yes, thank you so much, Stacy. You're a dear. We've got some 2s. Hello. You guys are so sweet. Kimmy. Yes, the beautiful signs. If anybody's interested, weatheredsigns.com. They're custom made. This is the Ask Wardee show, so that's the hashtag people use on Twitter and that I use to announce the show, and my handle is @TradCookSchool. So if you're looking for a sign, if you're in the market, weatheredsigns.com is the place. So as everybody's joining us, what are you drinking today? I think I might make this a tradition. Ask that you, if at all possible, bring something nourishing and soothing or healing or tasty to drink every Wednesday. We've got a water, we've got a Hi Nancy. I am drinking one of my favorite tea blends. It's a chai rooibos. We've got a mineral water. Thank you everyone for the hearts and for sharing. Yes, please do share. You can swipe right or down depending on your device and share to Facebook or Twitter. I really appreciate that. Thank you for inviting your followers. If you're new here and you have yet to follow me, please do choose to follow and come back and join me every Wednesday. I tackle a question that's been submitted on the Ask Wardee show. Thank you all for that. Okay, so let's get into, let me take a drink. Green tea, great. I'm going to ask a favor when you guys comment. Since I can read your comment, but not necessarily your handle, leave a comment and include your first name if you can. Oh, we've got somebody drinking pop. Well, check out water kefir or kombucha or homemade ginger soda. Maybe you can get into one of those fermented beverages. So this is the Ask Wardee show. We meet every Wednesday now. And I answer your questions about traditional cooking. And today's question comes from Emily K., who I believe is here, right? EB Night 74. This is her question on Twitter, which is one of the ways to ask your questions to get on the show. You tweet me at TradCookSchool with the hashtag AskWardee. And yes, Emily, I see you. Yes, great, welcome. So Emily's question is, what are some of your favorite traditional cooking resources like blogs or books, etc.? Well, I am going to focus on blogs and books today. I know you said etc., but I figured I had enough to cover just with blogs and books. And if someone wants to ask what etc. could be in the future, please do. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. So before we dive in here, let me tell you how to ask your questions for a future episode. Like I said, you can tweet at TradCookSchool with the hashtag AskWardee. You can also email me if you're not on Twitter, Wardee, W-A-R-D-E-E, at askwardee.tv, and we will put them in the queue. Since this is about traditional cooking, I want to make sure, in case you all don't know, that I have a special free video series for you to introduce you to the fundamentals of traditional cooking. And if you have not yet checked that out, that's at tradcookschool.com/free. Right here. It's 5 videos from inside our membership at Traditional Cooking School. You can have them completely free, and I introduce you to the fundamentals of traditional cooking. Things that can really revolutionize your health in your kitchen and your taste buds. Okay, so let's get into this question from Emily. I'm going to start with books. First of all, want to make sure everybody knows that at Traditional Cooking School, we have a ton of books. So I've not only written The Complete Idiot's Guide to Fermenting Foods, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9th on the way on traditional cooking. There is all the information on those you can find at tradcookschool.com/ecourse/books. So check that out. We have fundamentals, sourdough, cultured dairy, dehydrating, real food kids, lacto fermentation, even allergy-free cooking. All our books also come with, well, except for The Idiot's Guide to Fermenting Foods. That's a print book. The rest are ebooks. They come with videos, but all of them come with a free bonus. And if you purchase the Complete Idiot's Guide off Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever, just email me, Wardee at askwardee.tv or Wardee at traditionalcookingschool.com, and we will reply back with a free bonus. Thank you so much. You said you've learned a lot from our resources. I appreciate you turning off my notifications, and I got a phone call. That's awful. And I think if I'm correct in what somebody told me, that actually ruins my recording. But oh well, such is life. Okay, so check out all of our books. They are favorites because I've poured my heart into them, and want to make sure you know about them. Now I'm going to go into everybody else's books. So I'm going to start with the book on traditional cooking that you probably already all know, Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon. Who knows this book already? You can tap the screen, give me some hearts. You could also put a thumbs up in the comments. We're getting a lot of hearts. Well, this is the book that just changed our life, because I've shared this online in many places, but we had food allergies and health issues. And I picked up this book because it was recommended, and I thought, oh, that's too hard. I can't deal with that. So we just stuck with avoiding food allergens and doing as well as we can, but we didn't thrive and we didn't get better. And then a couple years later, I thought, I'm going to look at that again. And at that point, it was like, well, what else do we have to lose? Our diet is so restrictive. Why don't I just try some of these traditional methods? We may get better. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And we did. Our daughter, who's here now, was sensitive to gluten and is no longer. We had egg allergy, dairy allergies, and we don't have those issues anymore. Nourishing Traditions is the name of the book, and I'm getting thumbs up. Good. So you all love this book too. Okay, so moving on. Or I should just say, if you're interested in traditional cooking, this is a must for every library. And then you can go so many directions into specialties and particular cooks and all that. But this is like, just the book that everybody should have. And it's a beautiful book. There's recipes, but there's sidebars on every single page. And the sidebars almost draw you in more than anything. And Kimmy is saying it's the book that started it all. I know. And Kimmy, I'm about to share something about you later when we get into the blog department. All right. You guys should be following Kimmy, the Nourishing Gourmet, by the way. Okay, my second book I want to share is by my dear friend Megan Stevens, Eat Beautiful, who has this book. Put a thumbs up in the comments along with your name, or tap the screen and just share a lot of love, because Megan's book is awesome. Oh, can you see the title on that? It's Eat Beautiful. If you want to check it out, tradcookschool.com/Megan. Megan and her family, Megan herself has overcome autoimmune disease, and her family has had significant health challenges that for the last several years they've been following a gut healing diet that has just basically just healing after healing after healing. And so this book is the culmination of everything she's learned about cooking to heal and around food allergies. So it's grain-free, sugar-free, and it's amazing. It's actually revolutionary. Like if you can't have grains and you still want to have bread, you got to check out her bread recipe. It's a way to use nuts and seeds and whichever ones you can eat, and it's a way that nobody else does it to create beautiful breads that are actually, like, instead of dry and maybe rancid because the nuts are old, her breads are really, really healthy and the breads are like moist. They're like, you don't even miss bread. So definitely check out her book, tradcookschool.com/Megan. She is here too. She's at Meg Eat Beautiful, so be sure to follow her. And I want to say that her handle changed. So if in the last couple scopes I've mentioned her and you've already followed her, you may not be following her new scope, and she's going to have a scope right after mine today. So make sure to follow at Meg Eat Beautiful. Next book. This is a new book to me. It's Einkorn, the Einkorn book. Oh, getting a little bit of glare there. And this is by Carla Bartolucci. She's the founder of Jovial Foods, where they have a high quality einkorn grain and flour products. This is just a beautiful book. It's an artisan einkorn baking book. Main dishes and desserts and breads, and it's an education, and it's gorgeous. And she has an amazing story with her daughter being able to eat ancient wheat, but being very, very sick on modern wheat too. So if you have this book, or I've heard people checking it out from the library, look for these books at the library. Then if you love them, you add them to your collection. This is a great book. And in our einkorn baking class that we're now doing at Traditional Cooking School, we have permission to share at least 3 recipes from this book in our videos. So you'll be seeing those if you're a member. Hi, everyone. Thank you. You're continuing to share the love, continuing to follow, continuing to invite others. I really appreciate it. So tap the screen with some hearts, or put a thumbs up in the comments if you're already acquainted with this book, Einkorn by Carla from Jovial Foods. Getting lots of hearts. Good. Okay, next book. Okay, I mentioned Meg's already, Eat Beautiful. But if you need gut healing, this is the book that you need to have. Everybody needs to have. It's Gut and Psychology Syndrome by Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. Revolutionary in terms of identifying the root cause of most all of our ailments. They're in the gut. And the science is amazing, and it'll just blow you away. So and as the cover shows, there's a bunch of signposts on here: autism, dyspraxia, ADD, dyslexia, ADHD, depression, schizophrenia, and there's so many more. Kimmy is saying, amazing book. Yes, there are so many conditions that are rooted in your gut health. So if you need help with gut healing, you've got to start here, and then you look at recipe books like Megan's to help you, really enjoy what you're eating because gut healing diets can be limiting. So that's that. Okay, so at this point, I've covered just traditional cooking books that I think, except for the GAPS book, I've covered some traditional cooking books that can really fit in any kitchen. Yes, Megan's is a little bit specialty. GAPS is for gut healing, but I'm really going to go into specialty books now because we have different things going on in our families and different needs, and food is medicine. So the way you approach your cooking can be instrumental in your healing. So we're all at different places and we have different needs. So as I was looking through my bookshelf yesterday, all of these books jumped out at me as if somebody's struggling with this, this is the book. If somebody's struggling with this, this is the book. They're nuances of the field of traditional cooking in the way that it's healing and nourishing, but they're pretty niche. So I'm going to mention about a half dozen of them now. And if it resonates with you, look for it at your library. So the first one is having to do with babies. In fact, this is Nourish Baby by fellow blogger Heather Dessinger from mommypotamus.com. This book you can check out if you go to tradcookschool.com/nourishedbaby. She was also a guest on my podcast, which you can find at knowyourfoodpodcast.com/31. It's a very simple book to help you nourish your baby. It's called Nourish Baby. But nourish your baby the way that with traditional cooking principles, when to introduce foods. And conventional baby raising is so different from traditional baby raising. If I could go back, I would do it differently. But in conventional society, we introduce grains too soon, we introduce most foods too soon. We don't, of course, formula is a whole nother topic, but there's just so much more nutrition we could be providing for our babies if we did it right. Now, no guilt for those of us, including me, who did not do it right. But if you have a baby or are going to have a baby, this book is a great place to start for knowing what to do right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining, for sharing, for the love. I really appreciate it. Hi, Meg. Meg is now here at Meg Eat Beautiful. Okay, so again, tradcookschool.com/nourished baby if you're interested in this book. Okay, another thing, weight loss. Yes, we are on traditional cooking, traditional food diets, but some of us need to lose weight, just the way it is. I myself, 2 years ago, between May of 2014 and May of 2015, lost 30 pounds with traditional foods, but kind of applying a particular scheme of eating called Trim Healthy Mama. So I recommend this book if you apply it using traditional foods. It's by two sisters. One of them is into traditional foods. The other one is not so. But they're both the foundational principles with the Bible and some of the science and just how it works, really, really good. So if you're interested in more, I do have a blog on an article on my blog, traditionalcookingschool.com. You could search for, wish I'd got a link for you, like how I lost 30 pounds, more than 30 pounds in a year. And I showed how, and we have another commenter lost 20 pounds using that book. Yes. So I applied it with traditional foods. I really didn't change what I ate. I changed the order of what I ate. So all traditional foods, and it helped me lose 30 pounds. Whoops, there we go. So Trim Healthy Mama for weight loss. Just pay attention to the traditional food aspects. So many young children, and I hear this all the time from members. Okay, Svenska Mommy had a hard time applying THM with traditional foods. Well, go to traditionalcookingschool.com and look for my How I Lost More Than 30 Pounds in 1 Year article, and I share my tips there about how I did it. That may help you, may turn on some light bulbs. So many children in modern society have sensory or like autism or ADD eating related issues. So this is a fabulous book. It's called My Kid Eats Everything. It's by a therapist, I don't know the specific title, Susan Roberts. It's a journey from picky to adventurous eating. It's fabulous. She has, because the usual things to help picky eaters don't work when the children have real sensory issues like that come with autism or ADD. So you can't do the usual things. So she has strategies to help you turn your picky eaters into kids who eat everything. You can find this book at tradcookschool.com/mykid-eats-everything. I also had Susan on my podcast, and that was episode 32. So knowyourfoodpodcast.com/32 if you want to hear more from her. It's a fantastic book with real practical strategies and plans. It's not just theoretical, it's going to help you plan and do it. So how are we so far? Does anybody already know about this book? And I didn't ask about the others, so I'm sorry, I forgot to. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on. It's great to see you all. Hello. Next book, for fertility and pregnancy. This is from my friend Danielle. It's called, can you see that? Naturally Knocked Up. Don't you love that title? Danielle was a guest on my podcast number 8. So if you want to hear from her directly, it's knowyourfoodpodcast.com/8. This is a wonderful book. Danielle herself has had, three, maybe 4. Danielle, if you're here, you could clarify. But 3 children after having pretty serious fertility issues. So she knows what she's talking about. She studied it. Her site is naturalfertilityandwellness.com, and she's a wealth of information to help you with natural fertility instead of, conventional fertility methods. So that's a wonderful book. One of the things that often we need in our traditional families with kids is healthy snacks. So this is my favorite book on healthy snacks. It's called Healthy Snacks to Go. It's from Katie at Kitchen Stewardship. I bet a lot of you know about this book already. So tap the screen and give some hearts, or put a thumbs up in the comments along with your name if you already know about this book. You can check it out at tradcookschool.com/HSGT for healthy snacks to go. Yep, Emily is saying yes, love this book. Yeah, it's a fantastic book. So inspiring. Very simple, doable snacks too. If you think, oh, I don't have time to make my own snacks, well, you do. And these are healthy snacks to go. The to go part means if you're a busy family, you can, take them with you, no problem. Hi from Greenland, good to see you. Are any of these books in the Ultimate Bundles? Yes, yes, they have been. I can't promise, I can't say which one. It's not that I can't say, I just don't know off the top of my head which ones. Ooh, let's block that guy. So just look, if you've purchased any of the Ultimate Bundles in the past, look through, you're likely to see some of these. One more favorite traditional cooking book. I'm including this because more and more I hear from people who are depressed. And, you read about depression and somebody will say, oh, you have a magnesium deficiency, or oh, you have a vitamin D deficiency, or oh, you need more zinc, or whatever. Well, my friend Amanda Rose put together this Rebuild from Depression, a nutrient guide. She studied all the literature on depression, and she herself struggled with postpartum depression. And she found that all the pat answers, they don't work for everybody because each one of us has our own individual, unique biochemistry, and we have different deficiencies. So you have to find out what your deficiency is to know how to treat it with food. So this is a great resource to help you rebuild from depression. Rebuild in terms of what is your deficiency, let's rebuild it. Amanda was a guest on my podcast, 57, and it was a fabulous podcast, knowyourfoodpodcast.com/57 to hear more about this book. And so I've come to the end of all the books. So I want to ask in the comments, what are your favorite traditional cooking books? Even if they're niche like some of the ones that I've shared, please share in the comments. Thank you for the love and the hearts, everyone. Thank you for sharing. And also, when you check out, or you can check out the replay of this later at askwardee.tv, and I'll have links to all these books too. Okay, let's go on to blogs. What are my favorite traditional cooking school blogs? Well, just like I started with my books, I am going to start with traditionalcookingschool.com. This is because we have the most amazing writers and contributors. Every day there is great content coming up. So watch traditionalcookingschool.com. The front page gives you all the most recent articles. You can dive into the health articles or recipes or my podcasts, or thank you. You guys really picked up the hearts on that one. I appreciate that. So traditionalcookingschool.com. Yeah, it's my favorite. But let me go on now. So I'm told Kimmy that I was going to talk about her here, and I certainly am. So this is Kimmy at the Nourishing Gourmet, and her blog is thenourishinggourmet.com. The reason I wanted to mention her right after mine was because when I started blogging, the first traditional cooking blog I followed was Kimmy's, and it's so beautiful, so lovely. She has such a gift for food and combinations, and she has such a sweet spirit. Like, she can share, and she researches. First blog I followed too, yes. And she researches, and she just shares her heart, and it's just a beautiful experience to read anything at thenourishinggourmet.com. So highly recommend thenourishinggourmet.com. It was the first blog I followed, and her tagline is "Beautiful Food Made Simple." Okay, next blog you need to follow is Beautiful.net from Megan, my friend Megan. She's here on the scope at Meg Eat Beautiful. Megan, as I mentioned before, because of her book Eat Beautiful, has an amazing health story, and she is another researcher, deep researcher, because her own and her family's health issues forced her to dig deep. Hi, Meg. To dig deep into finding ways to heal with food and alternative therapies. So she has beautiful, nourishing recipes with a lot of information behind them and techniques that are going to make you go from like blah and boring gut healing food to amazing. Eat Beautiful. Check it out. You're welcome, Kimmy. Next, kitchenstewardship.com. Katie is another researcher. I see lots of hearts, so I'm thinking you guys are resonating with this. Katie is another researcher. She's also very real and personable and funny. She goes in depth, and so there's lots of great recipes, down-to-earth information, and just inspiration and fun at kitchenstewardship.com. Emily is giving a thumbs up and a heart. Yep, I totally agree. Next, I mentioned Naturally Knocked Up. Well, that is Danielle's blog, naturalfertilityandwellness.com. Danielle is here on Periscope at Danielle. This is, if you need fertility and natural wellness information, make sure you follow this. This is a blog that I share a lot because people often ask me questions about fertility and pregnancy, and I'm not an expert in that, but Danielle is, and I just send them there because there's such good information. She is a sweetie. Don't Waste the Crumbs by my friend Tiffany Crumbs. Isn't that cute? Don't waste the crumbs. She's all about frugal, real food. So if you are on a budget or need help with meal planning, eating cheap, making do, Tiffany's your gal. This is a great blog. Recipes to Nourish. Love all of these. Yep, they're good. Thank you. Thank you for the love, everyone. So I have, and Tiffany, Don't Waste the Crumbs, is on Periscope at Don't Waste the Crumbs, so make sure to follow her. And finally, don't know, did I see Melissa in here? Melissa K. Norris, at Melissa K. Norris. So it's melissaknorris.com. She is so cute, isn't she? Return to Simple. Don't you love that? She shares on heirloom gardening, preserving food, self-sufficiency. She's so cute, and everything is rooted in faith. I love that about her. So this is one of my favorite blogs too. melissaknorris.com. What are your favorite blogs? Share in the comments. Thank you for the love, everyone. While you're adding your comments, I'm just going to wrap up here by saying, following me, I want to make sure if you still have a couple free minutes that you follow at Meg Eat Beautiful, because she's going to start scoping here as soon as I'm done. And she's going to be talking about June, which is a special kind of kombucha. Going to be delicious and fun. She's going to be in her kitchen. I also want to share that I'm beginning to Periscope my podcast recordings live, and I'm going to do that sometime tomorrow. So watch your Periscope notifications. Make sure you're subscribed to at Trad Cook School or following, so that you'll hear when I'm hopping on tomorrow sometime to record my podcast. You're welcome, Emily, for covering your question. It was a pleasure. And finally, if you haven't yet gotten access to my free traditional cooking video series, tradcookschool.com/free is where that is. Okay, I said finally, but I have one more thing to say. This is the Ask Wardee show. So come back. Vintage Remedies, yes. That's a great site, vintageremedies.com, I believe. It's a great site to follow. So Ask Wardee is going to be back next Wednesday, as every Wednesday, at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So come on back next week at the same time. And if you didn't think about it this week, next week, arrive with a special drink so that you can share in the comments what you're drinking. We've got yes, I'm taking the herbalism class for Vintage Remedies. Fantastic. I took an essential oils class there. Well, I don't have anything else. So, I do, which is to recap how to ask questions for Ask Wardee. So you can tweet at Trad Cook School with the hashtag Ask Wardee, like Emily did for this week's question. You can also send an email to Wardee at askwardee.tv. Wardee is spelled W-A-R-D-E-E. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you again next week, or hopefully tomorrow if you're on to check out the Know Your Food podcast recording. Bye-bye. Bye, Kimmy. And I'll see you all with Megan at Meg Eat Beautiful in just a minute. All right? See you there. Bye-bye.